Hello and welcome to another Fabula Ultima class feature. This time it's the Tinkerer, a guide by Fabula Points, me. So let's jump straight in. The Tinkerer is your kind of mechanic, engineer, like alchemist kind of, just a Tinkerer, basically. He's the kind that likes to make potions, likes to make equipment, likes to enhance equipment, that sort of thing. So if you wanted to play that kind of character, the Tinkerer is for you. So I'll power through the skills a bit. There's a lot to the Tinkerer, so this is gonna take some time, but it's worth it to know exactly what he does. So the free benefits: you permanently increase your maximum inventory points by 2, which is very handy because this uses inventory points a lot. And you can initiate projects. We're going to talk about projects a bit later. So the skills you get: emergency item. Once per conflict scene, if you are in crisis, you may perform an additional action on your turn. This action must be the inventory item. So this normally wouldn't be that great, but for a Tinkerer is fantastic because a lot of your stuff gets triggered from doing an inventory action. So this is kind of cool. Gadgets. This is where like most of the way the Tinkerer does things comes from gadgets. So when you first acquire the skill, choose a gadget type: Alchemy, Infusions, or Magitech. You gain its basic benefits. Then whenever you take the skill again, you can choose an option. You either gain the basic benefits of a new type, or you gain the advanced benefits of the type whose basic benefits you already have, or you gain the superior benefits of the gadget type whose advanced benefits you already obtained. So this doesn't really make any sense right now, but I'm going to go through them and then it will. So bear in mind, you can have up to 5 skill levels in this, and because there are 3 different ones and you can get up to superior, you can either get 1 superior and 2 basic, you can get 1 superior and 1 advanced, or you can get like 2 advanced and 1 basic. So you can't get more than 2, you can't get 2 superior basically. So like treat this carefully. Like I would probably only pick 1 and then have like the rest of the options to put my skill points in, because there's a lot of skill points here. He can pick 18 different skill points. You can have vastly different Tinkerers if you wanted. But yeah, gadgets. So the first one it talks about is alchemy. So the way it works, you perform an inventory action to make a potion. When you do, you've got like the basic, advanced, superior lets you spend more IP cost to roll more dice. But the way this basically works is at the start you roll 2d20s, you assign 1 to a target and another to effect. So let's say we roll a 10 and a 20, say. We'd look at the target table down here and we'd look at the effect table on the right and we'd pick what we want. So with a 10 and 20, we could either go 10 as target, which means 1 enemy you can see that is present in the scene, and 20 recovers hit points and mind points, which you don't want, obviously. Or you can do it the other way around, which is 20 would be every enemy present on the scene, and 10 is, it says as effect 9, but with bolt and ice damage. So that enemy would gain resistance to bolt and ice damage until the end of the scene, or all of them, which you wouldn't want. But there's a special option. So these two that say any, where it says suffers 20 poison damage or recovers 30 hit points, you can pick that if you don't like what your dice roll was. So in this option, you have the option to either have 1 enemy or all enemies suffer 20 poison damage, say, and obviously you'd pick all. But that's how it works. So the basic, advanced, superior means you can roll more dice, but it costs more IP. So with the superior, you can roll 4 dice and you can assign 1 to target, 1 to effect, and you just basically discard the other 2. So if you want to go down this route, it's a bit chaotic because you don't really know what you're going to get at the time. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It would be worth having these like with you at all times and easy to find, because you're going to be using them often if you go down this route. But that's basically how the alchemy works. It's a lot like making potions. And then the options you can get are things like treating your dice sides as if they were 1 higher, suffers damage, gain resistance to things, suffers enraged, poisoned, or 14 is suffers dazed, shaken, slow, and weak, which is amazing. And then there's like recovery from status effects, recovering hit points and mind points, things like that. So there's lots of offensive, there's lots of support. But because you're rolling dice, you can't pick, which is why I said it's a bit chaotic. So that's alchemy. So if we move on, the next one is infusions. So infusions I don't think are that good, apart from one, which I'll talk about now. So when you successfully hit one or more targets with an attack, you can spend 2 inventory points to produce a special infusion that applies to the corresponding effect to the attack. And if it has multi, it hits all of the multi, which is awesome. So the basic infusions are Cryo, Pyro, Vault, which is 5 extra damage of Ice, Fire, and Bolt. Advanced infusions is the same, but for air, light, earth, and dark. And then the superior infusions are the kind of special ones. So Vampire either lets you recover an amount of HP equal to half the HP loss suffered by the target of the attack, or you recover an amount of MP equal to half the HP loss suffered by the attack. It can only work when targeting a single creature. So that is fantastic. So like anything that lets you recover MP is great. HP is easier to recover than MP, but I'm pretty happy with this. But the one I really, really, really like is Venom. So 5 extra damage, and the damage becomes poison, and each creature hit by attack suffers poisoned. Now the reason I like poison so much is if we bring up a normal character sheet, poisoned reduces your might and willpower die by 1. So if we were to take to look at like some of my build videos in the status sniper, it can very quickly do slow, dazed, weak, and shaken on someone. But being able to also do this with poisoned means that you can almost in one round, depending on how your skills, or eventually in one round when you end up getting more heroic skills, you can apply 5 out of the 6 conditions onto someone right away, which is enormous. But that's a specific build, and by the by. But yeah, I think this is really good. So you can pick what infusions you want, but you cannot apply more than 1 infusion into the same attack, which is something. And then the third option is Magitech. So Magitech is more flavorful, but the kind of options differ between them. So the first one is Magitech Override. So you use an action and spend 10 mind points, and bear in mind to do this we're spending inventory points. No, we don't spend inventory points on Magitech, do we? Let's go back to the skill. When you take the skill, no, we wouldn't do. Yeah, that's fine. It's the other two say inventory points. This one doesn't. This is only magic mind points. So ignore that. You can use an action to spend 10 mind points to perform an opposed insight plus insight check against a nearby soldier rank construct you can see. If you succeed, you gain control of the creature until the end of the scene. You may only control one construct at any time, but may set it free whenever you want. Construct is also set free as soon as it is harmed by you or one of your allies. Once free, the construct is again in control of his actions and might turn against you. So this is pretty cool, but it only kind of works in a construct heavy kind of setting. So speak to your DM about this one, because obviously if there are loads of constructs around and you feel like overriding loads of them, then awesome. You know that sounds like a lot of fun. But when you like move on and you end up going to like the enchanted forest or something, there might not be constructs there, for example. So this is a situational one, but has the option of being really cool. The next one is Magic Cannon. So you perform the infantry action and spend 3 inventory points to create a firearm. The Magic Cannon crumbles to pieces as soon as you make a new Magic Cannon. When you create it, you choose a damage type: airbolt, earth, fire, ice, or physical. So it's just like a two-handed gun basically that uses Dex Ins +1 for accuracy, and the damage is high roll +10. So this is like fine. Say if you have someone who for some reason, like say you have like a melee fighter and they can't hit someone who's flying, or like their weapon doesn't have the right affinity to deal damage to a specific type of person, you can create a magic cannon, hand it to them, and then they'll be able to do something in their turn, I guess. But like you can get weapons that deal damage, that deal a specific type of damage. You can even use the Tinkerer to make them, which we'll be going over a bit later. So yeah, this one is less for me. I'm like it's no, like it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But considering all the other options you've got, like I wouldn't specifically go for the magic cannon per se. And the last one is Magispheres. So you develop 3 Magisphere prototypes. Each of them can replicate a spell chosen by the following lists: Elementalist, Entropist, or Spiritist. The spell you choose may come from the same list or different lists. You can develop 2 more prototypes upon reaching level 20, and another 2 upon reaching level 40. You may perform the inventory action and spend 2 mind points to create a Magisphere, and immediately perform the spell action for free, casting one of the spells you've developed a prototype for. This spell follows the normal rules, including MP cost and magic checks that the Magisphere is destroyed upon use. So, this is very situational again, but say, for example, if you really needed to do, like, I don't know, dark damage, for example, and you don't have the infusions, right? You could pick from the Entropist skill one of the spells that deal dark damage, and you can spend inventory points and mind points to do a magic check to do a dark damage spell, I guess. Like, you can flavor this really cool. Like, you're building these, like, kind of spell grenade kind of things, because it's each one is destroyed when you use it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, it doesn't seem like it's that good. Because, like, if it didn't cost the MP, like, I understand why it costs the MP, but if it didn't, then you could pick high MP stuff, and you can create, like, these, you know, these awesome attacks, and it would be cool. But I'm guessing if you're going for, like, a low magic kind of setting, like, this might be a way to build it in. But yeah, not for me, Magispheres or Magic Cannon. Magitech Override is if you're in the campaign that needs it, so I'd probably skip these. But again, this is up to you how you build your Tinkerer and what you do with it. So, you know, these are just my opinions. But that is how the gadgets skill works. So you'd spend 3 of the points to get the superior benefits if you wanted them, and like I've already mentioned. Next one is Potion Rain. So you can get 2 skills in that, and when you create a potion that restores a single creature's HP and or MP, you may have it affect up to skill level additional creatures. If you do, the potion only restores half the normal amount of HP and MP to each creature. So this is pretty cool. It does synergize with the Alchemy, because I think Alchemy classes potions. Yeah, Alchemy creates a potion. So if you don't quite roll very well, and you pick, like, you or one ally which is present on the scene, then you can use this skill to heal more people, or you can always do the typical inventory item potion that you can get. Yeah, I like it. It's not overpowered, but as an extra option, that especially if you want to be more supporty with the Tinkerer, I don't see a problem with it. Secret Formula. When you create a potion on Magisphere whose effects restore HP and or MP, each restored amount is increased by skill level times 5. So that's a big deal. Skill level times 5 can get up to 25. So this is really good if you want to be like that healer. But when you create an elemental shard potion on Magisphere that deals damage, that item deals skill level extra damage. So that would only deal 5 if you heavily invest in it, which isn't quite as powerful, but obviously it would be too powerful if it was 25. So yeah, that makes sense. But this next one, Visionary, I love it so much. This is, if I was to build a Tinkerer, I would build it for Visionary. So when you work on a project, which Tinkerer can initiate projects from the free benefits, up to skill level times 100 zenith of the material costs are automatically paid. So all of your projects are cheaper. Additionally, you generate an additional skill level progress every day. If multiple characters with the skill work on the same project, the effects will be cumulative. So say, for example, if something, say, takes a 6-segment clock to build and costs 500 zenith, if you have 5 levels in Visionary, then you just get it. It works. It takes a day, obviously, because, you know, projects, you know, the clock will progress every day, but it'll take a day and be free. Like, you know, let's look at projects quickly just to find out. That was something else I was looking at. If we go projects. I should have found what the projects thing was before I started this. projects is 1 through 4. So the way projects works, rather than go through this, let's look at examples. So yeah, let's still projects. So here are some examples. So we'll say a medium is the mag boots, which cost 1,000 zeniths. It lets you safely attach themselves to metallic surfaces, possibly walking on walls or even ceilings. So if we took the mag boots, right, and we had skill levels in Tinkerer for Visionary, say if we had 5 skills in it, 500 of the cost would already be paid, so this would now cost 500 zenith. Progress required is 10, so we'd need to fill a 10 segment clock to do it. But because we're a Tinkerer, if we have 5 in this, then we generate 5 segments of the clock per day. And if we were working on it, we would automatically generate 1 segment of the clock anyway, so that would be 6 a day, so it would take 2 days. So there's a bunch of different options for sample projects in the book. Some of them are a lot cheaper, like this one requires 4 and is 400 zenith, so if we had 4 points instead of 5, say, that would be free. So we can make pure dust every day, basically. And it gives the user and all nearby islands resistance to dark and poison damage until the end of the scene. So we'd use an inventory item to use that, because it would be an item in our inventory. And yeah, like, you can use this so well in so many different ways. Like, I love it. I love it to bits. This is what I think of when I think of a Tinkerer. Obviously, you can go the whole gadgets route. But yeah, I love it. Right, okay, so that's the Tinkerer's kind of normal skills, but the Tinkerer also has some heroic skills. So let's go back here and let's go to the first one. First one is Deep Pockets. When you spend inventory points, you spend 1 less inventory point to a minimum of 1. This is massive. Like, say even if you're not only a Tinkerer and you also take spells in something like the Symbolist, say, that uses a lot of inventory points, like, this is huge. This, if you're constantly spending things which cost 2 inventory points, which a lot of things are, this doubles the amount of use you get. Like, it's amazing. Like, it's pretty simple to understand. So I'm gonna move on, but I really like it. The other one we've got is Upgrade. So Upgrade, once per rest, you may choose an option to add a quality to a single weapon, armor, or shield that doesn't have one, or replace the quality with a different one. When you use a skill, you must select a quality from the default list of that item type, as long as the cost is 1,000 zenith or lower. Then you must spend an amount of zenith equal to twice the cost modifier of the chosen ability. The modified item will be ready at the end of the rest. You may only modify 1 item per rest. And there's some options here. So let's jump to those pages. So if we go here, so this is for weapons. So remember, we can do up to the 1,000 ones, so we can't do the immunity. So the defensive qualities, sorry, it's not weapons. Defensive qualities would be armor, so you could add things like resistance to 2 damage types to someone's armor, but it would cost you 2,000 zenith because we have to spend double. So this is like a oh, we really need this thing, but we don't quite have it. Let's spend extra money to get it now kind of heroic skill, because otherwise, like, you could buy like an amulet with +1 bonus to magic defense, say, for example. Like, you could buy that in a shop, and it would be cheaper because you're not doing double the cost. But this will be we're resting before the big bad. And the big bad, has a bunch of resistances, and we want to add something that ignores resistances, for example, or we need, that kind of thing. It's a get out of jail, I needed this thing but I don't have it kind of heroic skill, which in itself can be pretty cool. So like, I don't hate it, and like, there are options in here for the rare weapons which would have this kind of thing. So say, for example, like this Fabula like rod will let you gain a +1 bonus to your magic check, say, for example, or picking things at random. Siege breaker weapon ignores resistances, say. But this would cost 750 in a shop, whereas the weapon ignoring resistance, if we go back to it, those resistance will cost 400 by itself, so we would spend 800 to add it to an existing weapon, whereas this is a new weapon which has it. And there are loads of these, but these are these are like the armor and the weapons. There's loads and loads and loads and loads and loads. So if we go for the shields as well, so this is the armor and shields here. So we've got similar ones. You can get resistance to physical damage, things like that. But you can end up getting things like when you recover HP, you recover 5p extra, gain +1 bonus to your magic checks, accuracy checks, things like that, which you can put on. This is on rare armors and shields. And there's some options here for examples. So this is the kind of thing where if you want to provide equipment to your party and you want to be the person that makes your party better, say for example, upgrade is the heroic skill for you. If we go back to it, no, wrong page. Upgrade there. Yep. So this is really good, like I was saying, if you want to be the kind of person who enhances your party and will see a situation coming and will want to react to that situation in the moment rather than saying, hey, let's go on a shopping trip to try and get the thing we want. So this can help you out in a pinch. I really like deep pockets more. Just you spend one less inventory point, has so much application. But yeah, there's it's like I said before, there are loads of skill points you can pick with the Tinkerer, so lots of people can have different Tinkerers even if you max it. So it depends, like everything, on exactly how you want to play the Tinkerer. But I think that's enough for one video. I've gone on for long enough. But thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.